So good afternoon. I'm Cynthia Atkins, and I'm the Division Director of Investigations for the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. I appreciate everyone coming here today. We want to take this time to refocus the public's attention on a cold case murder that occurred approximately 15 years ago, and the victim is Maryanne Humphrey. So Maryanne Humphrey was a 62-year-old grandmother. She was a mother, she was a daughter, she was a sister, and she was a friend. And she was tragically taken from her family and her friends in 2009. So with me, I've got the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, the Douglas County District Attorney's Office, and we have members of Maryanne's family with us today. And we all want to express that we will never stop seeking justice for Maryanne and her family, her friends, and the community. So on September 21st, 2009, Maryanne was working at the Circle K in Douglasville, Georgia on West Stewart Mill Road when an unidentified person came in to attempt to rob the store. When they did that, there was a struggle between Maryanne and the person, and Maryanne was shot 2 times, and she did die as a result of those injuries. The person then left the store on foot, and that is where we are today. We do have video footage from inside the Circle K from 2009. That video footage was viewed back in 2009 by the then GBI forensic artist Marla Lawson, who did create a sketch from that video of what the person looked like. The video is a little bit grainy. The person did have a hoodie on, so the sketch is from that. Then recently, the GBI forensic artist Kelly Lawson, she created an age progression sketch of what that person could look like today. Now, neither of these sketches have ever been released to the public, and we are revealing them today, as you can see. The sketch that Miss Nellie Miles just turned over is the age progression sketch of what the person could look like today. So to describe the person, we're looking for is a white person, probably a male person, although we do not know that for sure. Approximately 5 feet 4 inches tall. We would say that the person is early teens to early or middle teens to early 20s. I think that's, yes. So that's the descriptors that we have right now that we are comfortable with releasing. So we are hoping that someone can look at these sketches, either the sketch from what the person looked like in 2009 or what the person could look like today, and they could identify the person for us. The family, the community, law enforcement, we have all waited far too long to be able to bring closure and peace to Maryanne and her loved ones. So if anyone has information, it could be something that was even already brought to law enforcement's attention back in 2009. Sometimes when we work these investigations, especially cold cases, when we speak to someone who finally gives us that tiny piece of information that allows us to finally solve one of these cases, sometimes they will say, well, no one ever came to me to ask for the information, or I called but no one ever followed up with me. And so I'm asking the public that if that is you, to please use this news conference, use me, my voice, as the person who is coming to you and asking you to please come forward. Even if you've brought the information forward previously and you feel like it wasn't followed up on, or you still feel strongly that you need to be heard, please reach out to us. We want to hear from you. So if you have any information, you can reach out to the GBI. You can reach out to the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. You can also submit information anonymously. You can do that through the GBI tip line, and I can give that number. It is 1-800-597-TIPS, which is 8477. You can also submit tips online through the GBI website through the tip submission form. And you can also use the See Something, Send Something mobile app. There is a $25,000 reward for any information that leads to the arrest and conviction of the person who was responsible for the death of Maryanne Humphrey. So please call if you have any information. You could be the person who is finally responsible for solving this case and bringing justice to Maryanne, her family, and the community. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Captain Mooney with the Douglas County Sheriff's Office to speak with you.
Good afternoon. My name is John Mooney. I'm a captain with the Sheriff's Office in Doug County. On behalf of Sheriff Tim Pounds and the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, I want to express our continued support for Ms. Humphrey family and providing whatever resources we can to make sure that we can get closure for the family and find justice for Ms. Humphrey. One of the things we've decided to do different today is during the original case, there were shoes in the video of the offender that were kind of distinguished in the video. And our investigators who originally worked the case were able to reach out to Reebok and have a pair of shoes that were similar in nature to those that are seen on the video recreated and given to us. It's the first time we've released these shoes. These shoes, what makes them so special is they were just released at the time of the homicide. They were made by Reebok, and the name on them at the time is Crazy Talking. From what I understand, you can use a sharp or a scripto marker, an X-Acto marker to write on these and write different things and erase it and come back and make some kind of new statement on the shoes daily, if you wish. But based off the video evidence we have from the incident, it appears in the video that these are the shoes that were used. Put a lot of factors together on that at the time of the crime, the time that these shoes came out, and everything just fit on that. But we decided, after speaking with the investigators that have been working on this case, that today would be a good time to release a little bit more information and put these out there. So these shoes are kind of special in that regard, that not a lot of people had them at the time. There was only so many that were put out in stores. And it's our understanding that Champs Sporting Goods at the time was one of the main distributors of those shoes in the Metro Atlanta area. So we have those here for y'all to take a look at, and we'll try to answer any questions on that I can.
So you're thinking that if someone could identify those shoes, they may remember, oh yeah, I know this guy who was wearing shoes back then that looked just like that. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. At this time, introduce the District Attorney of Douglas County, Ms. Dahlia Racine.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. First of all, we are grateful to Maryanne's family, Kaylin, her granddaughter, and Karen, her daughter, for ceaselessly seeking justice for the murder of Maryanne. Secondly, we want to thank the Douglas County Sheriff's Office and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation for their relentless efforts to continue this investigation and leave no stone unturned to find Maryanne's killer. We want to ask the community to think about anything they can remember from the evening of September 21st, 2009 at and around the Circle K at the intersection of Highway 5 and West Stewart Mill Road, as previously stated, occurring in Douglas County. Many of us living there will remember that this was a night of epic flooding. Many roadways were washed out. There was a lot of different dynamics happening in the community during that time frame. And so anything that can possibly trigger your memory about that would be greatly appreciated to tell us. Well, you know that many folks were home because of the weather, but we also know that there were individuals who were out. And we know that there are individuals who observed something that night, and we are asking you, even if you have stated it already, let law enforcement know. Even the smallest, most minor detail can solve this case. It really only takes one set of eyes to make a difference. 15 years is a long time for this family to wait. It just takes one person that overheard something, because 15 years is a long time for this family to wait. Talk about it with your neighbors, your family, your friends, friends of friends, and everyone can do something. And even if that is just taking a look at the sketches that have been released today, understanding there are two different renderings of what this individual could possibly look like, but look at them. Help us to figure out who this is. And we don't know who might have answers from that night, but we are asking everyone to seek answers. We need your help to bring closure to this family. Let their loved ones finally have the justice that they've been seeking all this time. Because we know that somebody out there knows exactly what happened that night to Maryanne. And once the investigation leads to the apprehension of that individual, with a case that we can prove that they committed this crime, we will proceed with charging them for this murder and letting this family finally have their day in court. And without further ado, I would like to introduce Kaylin Kaiser, who is Maryanne's granddaughter.
I'm sorry, do you mind if we take the shoes down?
Yes. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Kaylin. Sorry. And I'm the granddaughter of the victim whose life was tragically taken back on September 21st of 2009. Which in 4 days will make 15 years. The name of that woman goes by Maryanne, but I know her as Nana. For 15 years, I have always wondered why. As years passed and the case grew colder and colder, why did this happen to my grandmother? What motivated the person to make that decision to take the life of someone so pure-hearted? I've come to the understanding within myself that I may never know those answers, or the questions, and even if that person is brought to justice. Although that may be an understanding, with the new procedures and evidence that has been released, we are in higher hopes that we may release the grip of the closure we've been desperately wanting since this tragic accident we replay in our minds more than we wanted to. From the bottom up, I want to send my greatest appreciation for the Douglasville Sheriff's Office, the District Attorney, and the GBI for taking steps in helping to try to close this horrific chapter of our lives. Your tireless work and dedication does not go unnoticed, and we are hoping that with this new evidence that has been released, that we will finally have the closure we've been wanting for 15 years. Thank you.
Do we, I'm sorry, I don't know if I covered the story originally, but you mentioned there is some surveillance camera video. Now, was that released general public, the video in the store?
A still photo of the video
Can you release the video as well?
was,
Is that possible, or?
I don't see why not at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if whoever has that in the file, if they could send that out to us, that would be helpful.
Yeah, we can work on that.
Even if it is kind of murky.
It is, I can confirm it is very murky. It was older
Yeah.
technology.
Captain, when is the last time you had a credible tip on this?
It's been a while. We have tips that come in a couple of times a month, and they just kind of seem to revolve around the same topics and same individuals.
Anything, so when you say, so we're talking about the same thing repeated, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what's that key that you think can really break this case? Because it seems like it's the same information, which generally means there's something to it, generally speaking.
Well, somebody knows something. We need somebody with intimate knowledge to come forth and tell us what they know, what they've heard, firsthand accounts, things of that nature. It would help bring closure for this family, and they deserve closure. You know, in my 30 years of doing this job, this is the only family I have ever had for consistently 15 years. On the anniversary of this crime, they call. They've called my previous bosses, they call me, they call the GBI now, and everybody is working extremely hard to try to get closure for this family. So they deserve it.
Did this guy get up, make away with any money? I mean, when he came in and robbed the store, I mean, she tried to intervene, and that's when he shot her, but did he get up with any money? I was just wondering.
I don't believe so, no.
When did the GBI get directly involved in this case?
So the GBI was involved from the beginning as far as our forensic artist. And then, you know, we had a cold case that was created back in July of 2023. And so we received a Coleman Baker request at that time. And then we met with the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, we met with DA Racine, and that is when we basically came into the investigation and actually started reviewing it, and we were working alongside each other now. It's a group effort from all the agencies to find justice for Maryanne.
So just to recap, the new evidence that we spoke about, or you spoke about, is the new artist rendering of what this individual might look like today. And I think what you were saying before, that when he committed this crime, he was in his late teens to early 20s, therefore he would be 15 years older than that,
Correct.
mid-30s to early 40s, correct?
Correct.
And that's the second rendering, okay. And then the other piece of evidence is the shoes.
The shoes.
Okay.
Yeah, the shoes are very unique in that I don't believe they were sold anywhere in Douglasville or Douglas County. So it's not a shoe that I would say everybody had at the time, so it is a unique piece. Obviously, they described the shoes in previous news accounts, but we've never actually shown a picture of the shoes or the new fabricated shoes, so we wanted to release those also.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you so
very
much.